poll, and it is quite funny to see and quite interesting. It is a tradition because in the earlier times, Holi was also a time where men used to flirt a lot. So women used to beat them for for flirting with them. So it is a kind of a celebration which is very loved in in the part of region where I come from. And we also celebrate Holi using flowers. So we celebrate Holi with flowers, with uh, 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 perfume and all. So Holi is a wonderful celebration. I would invite everyone to be a part of it someday. And so let's move to the first part of the meeting. So I will first call the general evaluator of the meeting, who is DTM Haritosh.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mihir. I am the general evaluator of the meeting, so I get to evaluate everyone who's not officially evaluated and not being evaluated myself. So hopefully I'll do a good job. Looking forward to, we do have a few roles. So just wanted to check about the topic evaluator. Do we have both of the topic evaluators? We have Paul. We do not
Yes.
have, yeah, we do not have Temujin. So
And that
Yes.
becomes the general evaluator's responsibility.
yeah, I can take that even one. So Paul, you'll do the odd and I will do the even table topics. And we
Thank you.
already
That's
have,
correct.
yes. And we have evaluator for Jan, and we also have evaluator for, do we have evaluator? We also have evaluator for Anita. Do we have evaluator for Taiba? Who's yet to join? So let's see. Lucy.
Yeah, it was Lucy. So I
Yep.
guess I can do it if she doesn't show up.
Okay. Yep. I think we are all set. So thank you so much. I'll be back with my reports towards the end. And now it's time to hear from our Toastmaster of the day, Mihir. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. General Evaluator. Now I will call the timer of the meeting, who is Toastmaster Alan Schmidt. Toastmaster Alan, over to you.
You're on mute.
You're on mute.
Okay, I was mute the whole time. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. General Eval. Okay.
I'm the timer, and it's important in whatever speaking opportunities you have that you fit your speech into the time slot. So we will be timing various things unless, and I haven't heard otherwise, I assume the prepared speeches will be 5, 6, or 7 minutes for the signals. And I'll be giving a green symbol background for 5 minutes and a yellow for 6 minutes and a red for 7 minutes. And similarly for the table topics, at 1, 1.5, or 2 minutes. And the speech evaluations should similarly be 1, 1.5, or 2 minutes. And there, for the speeches and the table topics, well, for the speeches, you have 30 seconds leeway on either side. But for the table topics, you need to be speaking for a minute. And sometimes you do something special beforehand, and I won't be timing that. But the table topics, I will time that at 1, 1.5, 2 minutes. That's all for the timing. Oh, and I would hope my successor has these nice backgrounds. They come from Toastmasters.org, and you can go to the right spot.
Thank you so much, Alan, for the introduction of the timer role. Now I will invite on stage our joke master who will bring some smiles, Jerry.
Yes, I hope we have an entertaining little story. I was the other day watching some construction workers working on a new building, and they were both brand new. They did not have very much experience, and they were learning on the job. And their job was to nail on that paneling that goes on the side before you put on the bricks or the siding or whatever. And so the supervisor took them both over to there and he says, I want you to take these sheets of paper or these sheets of insulation and I want you to nail them up on the wall. And here's a big bag of nails for you. And sure, we'll do that. So right away, one of them starts reaching into the bag and he holds up his hammer and he bangs it in and he reaches into the bag and he pulls out a nail and nails another one in. And then he picks up another one and he throws it over his shoulder and he picks up another one and throws it over his shoulder. And he keeps doing that. Some of them he's nailing into the wall and others he's throwing just throwing over his shoulder. And his friend is, what's going on here? What are you doing? And he says, well, half of those nails have the heads on the wrong ends. And his friend said, you're silly. Those are for the other side of the house. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Jerry, for such a good joke, and we all had a good laugh. So now I will invite on stage our warm-up facilitator, who is Toastmaster Debs Wallace. Over to you, Debs.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and our most welcome guests. Good day to you all. The warm-up is about speaking for about 20 to 30 seconds to enable us to warm up our voices. If you don't want to take part in this, just say pass, that's absolutely fine, but it's a good opportunity. And the warm-up is lasting for 10 minutes before I shall pass over to my successor. And in celebration of Holi, I thought, what could I talk about in the warm-up? Colour sprang to mind. So I'd like to ask people, what is their favourite colour and why? We may not have time to get round everybody, but we'll see how we go. I'll start with myself. My favourite colour is lavender, and I love lavender because it's so beautiful. I also like the fact that I can put lavender oil in my bath, which is my luxury item. I'd like to ask next, Haritosh, please.
Thank you, Debs. My favorite color is blue. Why I like this color? Somehow I think that I look better in that. But that jokes apart, I think I like blue color, but because it signifies the infinity. The ocean is blue, the sky is blue, and there's a lot of divinity with the color blue. So I like the color blue. Thank you.
Thank you, Haritosh. Paul, please.
Yes, my favorite colors rotate through my life. I first started out with very, very blue. Then I went to very, very black. And then I went to yellow. And the same is true of where I live. I've got rooms in all different colors. It just reminds me of a total free atmosphere to choose what you want to look at each day. Back to you.
Thank you. Alan, please. You're on mute.
My favorite color is blue, and that may come from here in the US. They usually put baby boys in blue and baby girls in pink. So maybe it's ingrained in my head that blue is a fine color. And I like navy blue. And actually, if you look at my sweater, it's got blue and white, and that goes well with my hair. Back to you.
I don't see the blue bits in your hair, Alan.
Oh, well, it's the gray, the white.
Over to Abhishek, please.
Yes, Deb. My favorite color is gray, and not any gray. You know, we get a special color gray during the Holi, and you are all lit up. I would shake if I find one. I was trying to find a pic. But what happens is, whatever color you are, irrespective of your color, all you look is a silvery, glittery gray, and you have your teeth sparkling. And though, see, with Haritosh and Mihir laughing, you guys can imagine how fun that color is in India. And everybody has fond memories. Thank you. Over to
Do you
you.
know, Abhishek, I actually knew that. I mean, look at my hair. Over to Mihir, please. Mihir?
My favorite.
You on mute?
My favorite color is violet. I don't know why, but I have always loved it. I when I was a child, I used to buy clothes which were violet, but now not anymore. I mostly buy like, but I am still wearing pinkish violet color. It is my favorite.
Thank you. Dishka, are you there?
Yes, I am there. And talking about my favorite color, so I think it's black, but I don't think there is any inspirational or anything very special about it. Why do I like it? But personally, talking about why do I like black is because it is a color which I don't know why, but I really love it, and especially all my clothing and everything is in black, and I really like it. And in fact, talking about anything in general, if I have to prefer any particular color out of everything, then I'll definitely pick up black. So yeah.
Thank you very much. Chandra? Chandra?
Yeah. So
So-
I like all the colors, but I go with the orange because orange represents the Hinduism in India, and I'm also like the gray color. And just mostly I have my bike a gray color, and I have my car gray color. So thank you so much for giving me opportunity
You're
to
welcome.
speak.
Lucy, please. Lucy there? No, moving on to Bushra then. Bushra there? Okay, we'll try the birthday girl. Anna?
Okay, my favorite color is changed with time, just like Paul said. But recently this year, I'm really liking blue, or not blue, the green color. So from the light green to dark green. So after loving green for over 1 year, now I have everything almost in my room and in my closet are green. So I don't know how long I can last in for the green, but it feels like you have energy, you have a new startup, you always want to grow. It's just like the color of the spring. Everything is fresh, new, and full of energy. That's why I love this color now. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Jerry?
Okay, what are my favorite colors? I always say green because it just seems like that's the most peaceful one to me. However, when I buy clothes, if I look at my closet, I see an awful lot of blue. And like Alan, I'm not quite sure why, but I enjoy them. Back to you.
Thank you, Jerry. Jan, please.
Thank you. I would say my favorite colors in terms of buying clothes is gray and blue, but I like dusty pink the best. and it's very hard to find anything in dusty pink, but I feel when I wear it, I feel really young, and I think it's a good color with my complexion and my glasses and stuff, but I like dusty pink, and that's my favorite color in terms of buying for clothes.
Thank you very much, Dan. And do we have our speaker 2 with us?
Anita?
Yes,
Oh, Anita.
Anita.
What
So
was it? Sorry, go on.
Can you imagine what my favorite color is?
Is it white?
It is not blue. It is not blue. My favorite color is actually black because it has all the colors. I am very undecisive person. I have hard time making decisions, so that's why I just picked black. Over to you.
Wonderful. What a wonderful range. What a wonderful range of colours we've had. I'm going to hand the floor back to our Toastmaster now. Thank you very much, everybody, for taking part. Back to you, Mihir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Debs, for such an interactive warm-up session. Now it is time for the prepared speeches, and we don't have the first speaker here in the meeting. So we will start with the speaker 2. Speaker 2 is Toastmaster Anita, and her evaluator is, let me see. Her evaluator is I'm not able to see in the agenda. Is it Jerry?
Am I that? I wasn't sure we had been changing around. Yes, I can do that.
Yeah.
Yes, Jerry is her evaluator.
Or do you asking me if I know who it is? Let me take a quick look at the online agenda that I have here. Evaluator number for speaker number 2 was, let me see, I'm getting close. Table topics, evaluation, table. And number 2, we didn't have one assigned for that one, so I can do that one. And maybe we can just review right now who's doing the evaluations for our 3 speakers. Anita, Jan, and Taiba is not here. So who's doing it?
I assume Taiba is not going to join. So we have 2 speakers. So
Okay.
maybe you can go ahead with Jan's evaluation, and
Okay.
Lucy. Yeah, Lucy, if you're comfortable doing Anita's evaluation, you can do. Otherwise, I can also do the evaluation.
Yeah, actually, Jan's evaluator is Diksha, and I think Lucy can evaluate. Lucy can evaluate
Lucy,
Anita.
I have asked Lucy to be even number table topic, so I think Jerry can evaluate Anita.
Okay, so first speaker is Toastmaster Anita, and her speech evaluator is Toastmaster Jerry. So now I will invite on stage Toastmaster Anita.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So my main drive in life has always been freedom. Very early on, I wanted to know, what does freedom feel like? What does it sound like? What does it taste like? I had no idea what I was going after, but I was firmly convinced that I will know it when I see it. And I really, really wanted it. I wanted all of it, all of the freedom until the last drop. So let me take you through my journey to freedom from Madagascar to Canada. Then I will share what I learned about freedom. My understanding of freedom has never been the same. Growing up in Madagascar, from my childhood to my teenage year, I thought being free was to be free from any kind of authority telling me what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say, how to dress, how to think, what to think, or how to feel. Fast forward to 2005, I was the happiest because I was going to Montreal for college. I was naive enough to think that I was going to be free at last. I didn't know that the very puzzling, the very enigmatic, and the very lonely journey to freedom has just begun for me. What I love most about Montreal is the freedom to question, to create, to learn, to feel, to try, and to fail. Montreal allows you to just be. So in Montreal, I pushed the boundaries of my freedom as far as I could just to hear the sound and the heartbeat of freedom. Unfortunately, despite all the permissions I had in Montreal, my thirst and hunger for freedom were still not satisfied and kept on growing. I realized how complex, endless, and misleading the journey to freedom is. But I was committed. I wanted all of it until the last drop. So at that time, my understanding of freedom shifted. I believed that being free was to have a lot of money. So I moved to Toronto. While in Toronto, I was a full-time grad student. I had a full-time job and 2 part-time jobs. I made a lot of money. And again, I pushed the boundaries of my freedom even further. But my thirst and hunger for freedom were still left unsatisfied. The sound and the heartbeat of freedom were still impenetrable and inscrutable to me. It was frustrating. And at that point, I had to pause and reflect. Freedom has nothing to do with money. So what is freedom if it's not doing whatever you want to do? What is freedom if it is not having a lot of cash? I quickly realized that my overall experience taught me what freedom is not. Freedom is not a collection of intense emotion that we chase after to escape reality. Freedom has nothing to do with what you possess. And most importantly, freedom is not something you chase after. So what is it then? Well, I would lie if I told you I know what freedom is today. But I can tell you that the journey to freedom actually led to myself. I found out that there's a whole universe within me that I am yet to discover and that I am going to need millions of lifetimes to figure it all out. Freedom is patience with yourself. All this to say that the journey to freedom is endless. There's no final destination per se. Instead, every single one of my experience, every single one of my interaction with others, every decision I make or I do not make is an expression of my freedom. To conclude, I will leave you with a quote from Albert Camus, a French writer, who describes freedom this way. Freedom is nothing else but a chance to be better. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
Let us all give Anita a huge round of applause for her wonderful speech about herself and her pursuit for freedom. What a wonderful speech with a deep meaning. And thank you so much, Anita, for giving the speech here in this club. Now, for the second speaker is Toastmaster Jan. And Jan is giving her icebreaker speech. Jan is also giving her icebreaker speech. and her evaluator is Toastmaster Diksha. Now I will invite on stage Jan, icebreaker, Jan.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters. Let me introduce myself. I know that all of you know me as Jan Gudaitis, member of this Global Online Advanced Toastmaster Club. But other people know me as Deadpan Jan. That's right. If you go to Twitter, you can find me by another name, and that's Deadpan Jan. Why is that my nickname? It's because I'm a performer. Did you guys know that? I go on stage and I perform comedy. When I joined Toastmasters, I never imagined that it would lead me to performing comedy on stage. I entered the humorous speech contest in Good Evening Toastmasters Club, and I won the club contest. And then I won the area contest. And then when I went to the division, I came in second place. But the man who had won first place was an actor in theater, and he had to be in a play that weekend, and he couldn't go to the division contest. So I went in his place. I was one of the 6 finalists representing Indiana and Kentucky. It was the first time I entered the humor speech contest, and there I was against everyone else. I didn't win, but I found out that unlike when I was a child, I enjoyed it when people laughed at me. I liked it. It was a lot of fun. And in my first Toastmasters speech for the humor speech contest, I described to everybody how I wanted to be a singer in life, but I never got any respect as a singer. And my niche instead I found in life was singing at funerals. When you sing at a funeral, the dead can complain. But I like to sing at funerals where there were closed caskets, because then they can't jump out and say, if you don't stop that singing, I'm going to kill myself. They're already dead. So I found I got a lot of laughs and I enjoyed it. I took my 7-minute speech from Toastmasters and I rewrote it to a 5-minute set to perform at the Comedy Attic in Bloomington, where I live. The first night I performed, I had to invite friends to get on stage there. That's how they do it. You have to invite at least 10 people to perform. And so I ended up having 30 friends come to see me perform that night, my first time. I wanted to leave the place, but had my friends not been there, they gave me support and I went on stage. My opening routine the first night started like this. I never wanted to be a comic. I don't know why I'm on stage up here. I always wanted to be a singer. But for some reason, whenever I tried to get a voice teacher, they would never stay to the end of the lesson. First time they heard me sing, they'd said, "Oh my God, I left my oven on at home," and they had to leave. Another time it was, "Oh my God, I need to go home and clean my oven. It's been 5 years." And another time it was, "Oh my God, I got to go home and put my head in the oven." I don't know why my voice teachers couldn't be like my therapist and just take money for years, even though there was never any hope for improvement. That was about 8 years ago, and I continue to write comedy material. I've entered a lot of comedy festivals and contests. I've been in the Limestone Comedy Festival here in Bloomington, and comedy festivals in Cleveland, Chicago, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, St. Louis, Santa Monica, Salt Lake City. Before the pandemic, September 2019, I won my big first comedy competition, the Cleveland Comedy Open at Hilarities in Cleveland. And that year I also was a finalist in Jeannie Robertson's humor competition. Jeannie Robertson is a humorist. She's more like Mark Twain than me. She tells stories. And thousands of people come to see her in huge auditoriums to see her shows. She's over 70 years old. She's like a role model for me in that she's very funny, she's older, and she's a Toastmaster. She won the Golden Gavel Award many years ago, and I've heard her speak many times. She does jokes about her husband, who she calls Left Brain. I do jokes about my husband too, but I have yet to name him. They say that humor can help a marriage last forever, but a marriage without humor only seems to last forever. The first time I did comedy, I asked my husband if I could use him in my jokes and my material, and he said yes. And he, during the pandemic, he's given me a lot of material, a lot of funny things have happened. For example, at first he didn't have a thermometer to take his temperature every day during the pandemic, so he decided to use this meat thermometer. He would put it in his mouth, but when you took it out of your mouth and you looked at it, the temperature went down really quickly. So he'd put it in his mouth, he'd go to the bathroom, he'd look in the mirror, but it's a reverse image and the numbers are too small to read. So I would have to read it. I'd have to read his temperature every day. And you don't know how many times I wanted to take this meat thermometer and just stick it in his thigh, because this is a meat thermometer and I want to make sure I get an accurate reading, right? So I enjoy writing the material, and I hope that one day soon, after the pandemic, I'll be able to perform more in person. This past Thursday night, I performed again at the Comedy Attic at an open mic, and it was the first time I was there since last November. But I went on stage because I now have my 2 COVID vaccines, and I feel like I can take a chance and go out and try to do more things. This summer, I hope to perform in the Limestone Comedy Festival again, and in August, if things go well, I'm going to have my first one-woman show in Indianapolis at the Fringe Festival. Just want to tell you that I never would have done this if it wasn't for Toastmasters, and I think that you never know when you join Toastmasters how it's going to help you benefit later in life. Thank you for my time.
Big round of applause for Jan Goditis for such a wonderful humor-filled speech. And thank you, Jan, for giving such a good speech and making us all laugh and smile throughout your speech. Thank you so much, Jan. Now it is time for the table topics because we only have 2 speakers now. So first, the timer will give his report and to see if both the speakers are qualified.
Both speakers qualify. Anita spoke about freedom for 5 minutes, 14 seconds, and Jan Gunitis gave us a very humorous rendition for 7 minutes, 3 seconds. So both speakers qualify. Anita or Jan?
Thank you so much, Alan. Now it is time to vote.
Yes, so you should have a screen to select best speaker. Please put in your votes. We have about 50% votes. So yeah. Interesting. We have a couple more people to vote, but we can proceed.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aritosh. Now it is time for the table topic section, and for that I will invite on stage our topics master, Abhishek Devraj.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Mihir. So Holi kind of marks the, mid-section of spring, because we don't have a proper spring session of, 2 or 3 months when there is spring and there's with fall of leaves. Now our Toastmaster of the Day showed us when women were beating something what every married woman wants, and only Indian women get it. But they get it for marriage, not after. That being said, Holi, the reason they do it, and the place is from where President and Mihir come, is because that was used as a courtship period. And somewhere around a month after Holi, we have something called as Akshaya Tritiya or Akha Teej, one of the 2 or 3 most auspicious day in Hindu calendar, where you can get married irrespective of any hindrances. So this was used as a 1 month period. Moving on, Haritosh, do I have the screen share? Thank you. So I would not be asking for volunteers. I would just be going ahead and picking, pick and shoot. And the first one is the birthday girl, Anna. So Anna, I'm going to show you a pic and I would request you to tell us what these colors mean to you. All the colors. Can you see all the colors?
Yes.
These
Thank
5,
you
6
so
colors,
much.
what they mean to you.
So I need to pick one color or I tell about all the
All,
colors?
how do you connect with these colors?
Ah, okay. Good day, everyone. Again, I'm here for the color show, and I'm so glad I see so many beautiful colors. And the yellow color, first one, I love the yellow color. It feels like energy and feels the sunshine and feels everything is bright and have beautiful day. The pink is the one I love it because every girl have a little princess living in their mind. So the pink is for the little princess. And next one, blue. I like the blue color as well. Like some of you said, it's for the sky and for the ocean. It feels the nature and makes me feel like I'm open-minded. I can see the whole world. And red one, actually red one is my mom's favorite color. I hated it when I was young because all my clothes are red color. But now as time goes on, I start to love this color because it's full of energy and I feel like this is a perfect festival color in China as well. So I love the red because it looks like happiness and also celebration. And the green, I have said that green color earlier. I love the green color because it feels like a fresh and new. It's spring and it's a new starting for everything and you will get grown, and from there. And the purple, actually purple is my favorite. When I was a kid, I don't know, I love purple. I just like the imagination. It feels like oh, you are living in the dream, you are living in the imagination, everything you think about and the fairy tale are true when I say the purple color. So basically I love all the colors and I want to enjoy all of them. Thank you, dear Table Talking Master. Hey, you're mute.
Thank you, Anna, and we wish you similarly colorful life ahead. Once again, happy birthday. Moving on. So Holi is also a time of the year when we pull craziest pranks. Trust me, we have Holi is the time when schools used to be extra vigilant. The sports teacher or the coaches in American schools, in Indian would be on vigilant, making sure the children are not coloring the school red. Calling that, let's call Paul. Where is Paul? I cannot see him. Oh, there he is, Paul. I know you have worked in setting up museums. What was the craziest prank you ever pulled back in the day?
Oh, thank you so very much. I think the craziest one was learning how to scuba dive to search for treasure in the Caribbean Ocean. I do not swim well, but I was assigned to learn how to scuba dive off a boat in the middle of the Caribbean in search of a Spanish treasure ship that sunk in a hurricane in 1763. And I'm saying to myself, I don't believe I'm doing this. But you know what? We came up with emeralds and gold and silver, and I was privileged to make an exhibition about it in the museum. Back to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul. We would love to see those pics sometime when the day you become TMOD or something. You can, you know how the museums have been the years. Chandra Prakash. Yes, you're on mute. So,
Yes, yes.
what does
Yeah,
Holi
I'm.
mean to me? Your topic is
Uh,
Holi mean to me.
holy mean to me. It is a lot because it is springtime and we enjoy. We are Indian. We enjoy a lot in a holy festival, right? So I am in a village boy. So I used to live in a village. So I have a lot of the friend to see this. So we plan before the holy start before month of the it is called in the Fagun month in the Hindi. So before we start the month, we just plant the holy lot and we just collect all the some wood for the holy arrangement, and we lot of the sub cut the trees for the holy, and we just grandly celebrate, and lot of the sweet and colors we celebrate with our friends. So these the memory we have our past, because I'm not going time to my hometown this year to celebrate, because this is the I'm working and there is some work of my office, so I have to do. I just get a chance to work this year, so that's why I'm not going to enjoy Holi this year lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chandra Prakash. For guys who don't know, back in my younger days, and I think Haritosh, Mihir, and Chandra should remember, boys would not be able to eat food with their hand for at least a week after Holi. My food items would end up coloring red, green, blue, because my hands would still be, red. I remember in my first year of college when I came, I was in Bangalore, so that's like 2,000 kilometers. Do the math of converting kilometers into miles. I ran away from there. I came here as a surprise, and I went back after 10 days of Holi, and my hands were still red. My classmates were, have you even taken a bath in last 10 days? And this was taking a bath for 8 days for 1 hour every day. Washing, and I was still red. So that's how crazy it used to be. It's not anymore because green and all. Lucy, could we please have you on stage?
I'm an evaluator. I'm not sure if I can be on the stage.
Please take it one. I think the other evaluators would have you. It's a holy time. We're pranking you. We told you will be evaluator, but we are also making you a speaker.
Abhishek, we also have some guests. So we have Bushra and
Yes,
others. You can
yes.
invite them.
That would be next. So
Let's hear Lucy. Let's hear Lucy. Let's hear Lucy.
Lucy, what do you think is happening here? What are these boys trying to do?
It's like a color run, I think. I have not joined these activities, but I see some of my friends posting the pictures. I think they will be really fun. Just hang out with your friends and spray all the color powders crazily, and as much as you want to just hurl those powders at your friends and all the waters, the color waters. I think that's when the time we become the kids. When we are playing games, when we are becoming the kids, we are the happiest. You can see the happy smile on that. Wow, that's really um, really a touching picture. I hope that one day I can go to India and enjoy this festival. Really, thank you very much for this picture.
Thank you. Good. Yep, that's how it is. Could you please have Bushra?
Am I audible?
Yeah, extreme sport. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Bushra, uh, what is one crazy food someone made you try without telling you? A food prank. Have you ever taken a part in food prank?
Hello.
Hello, am I audible, Bushra? I think her video froze.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Bushra, if you could hear us, you could leave the meeting and join. Your video is frozen.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, okay. I could not hear a word. Can
Lucky
you please
us.
repeat?
What is the craziest food prank you can think of? Giving some crazy food to someone.
Okay. Well,
You're in IIT Kharagpur. You can think of something. Best of
yes,
brains.
yes. Yes, thank you. My very, very fond memory of Holi was in 2017. And this was the most horrible experience that I had. There was a group of guys and a group of girls. The group of girls escorted me to play Holi with them. And I was not startled because I wanted to play with them and I wanted to enjoy it. I had played Holi before also. But then, as I drew towards the crowd that was playing Holi all smudged in mud and water, I was all startled. Why are they tripping in mud? But then, as soon as I drew near closer, they pushed me and plunged me into that puddle of mud, and it was stinking like anything. I did not expect this. I thought there'll be colors flying in the air. Maybe people will be throwing colors at me. I'll play with them. But no, the scene was entirely different over there. They plunged me into the water. Somehow I came out of the dirty, dirty water, and you cannot believe I was stinking. The color and the mud was inside my ear, in my eyes, in my nose, in my hair. It took me so long to get rid of that horrific event. But then that is something that I cherish till now. That is something that I remember whenever I think of my college days, my past college days. I still, when I go to my hostel or when I ride through my college corridors or when I go and travel on the road, I see t-shirts hanging on the tree till now. And that reminds me how crazy people were then. They opened the t-shirt, threw it in the air, and it came and fell on my head, I remember, and my head seriously went down. And then I was like, what has happened? And those people were crazily dancing in mud and water, throwing, there was one more incident when they were so high drinking and eating that one of my friends were actually pouring chutney on my head. And I was like, man, this is the most craziest festival that I have ever seen. And I hope you must be having your own story. Thank you.
Thank you, Bushra. Thank you. I remember my last Holi in college. I'm 6'2". No one can reach my head. They had to, hey, we have to tell you something. And I was like, I don't hear it. The moment I like, pat, they had to bow me down half my height and then do it. Thank you for sharing those stories and reminding us how crazy hostel life is in India. Thank you. And anywhere else in the world too. So that's it from my end, guys. I hope you had fun. You knew what Holi is and the craziest time of the year, crazier than Spring Festival. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Mihir Shastri.
Thank you so much, Mr. Topics Master, for such a interactive and fun session. And it was lovely to hear your stories. You have so many, so you have totally played this game so much. Now we will have the timer who will tell us the timer.
Yes, thank you. Anna spoke on colors for 1:55 seconds. Paul spoke of a crazy prank for 1:02 seconds. Chandra talked about mean to me for 1:08 seconds. Lucy did not speak for a minute. She only spoke for 48 seconds on the red color photo. And Bushra talked about Holi in the mud for 2:08 seconds. So everyone qualifies except for Lucy didn't speak for a minute.
Thank you so much, Alan. Now we will vote for the best topic speaker.
Launching in a second. Can you see the poll?
Yes.
Haritosh, if you could remove me as co-host, I would also be able to vote.
Done.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got 90% votes, so let's proceed.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Haritosh. Now it is time for the evaluation section. I will call the first evaluator, who is Jerry.
There we go. I am so glad that I ended up with the opportunity to evaluate you. We have exchanged messages from time to time, and I wasn't sure I'd ever really get a chance to hear you speak, and I'm so glad I did. Very interesting. I have listed several strengths for you. One of the things I really liked was the organization and the structure of your presentation. You gave us a very clear idea right from the very beginning about what you were going to be speaking on, the topic. I think most of us, when we think of freedom, that catches our attention, but you were even more targeted than that. And I liked the way you gave specific examples along the way. So freedom as a teenager, freedom in college, thinking about money. And I particularly like the conclusion you came to that, freedom was the ability to be yourself. I could go on with several others, but don't want you to get too much of a, as we say, big head. Uh, things to work on, not too many. The one thing, maybe a little more vocal variety, a little more use of the pause, or maybe verbal emphasis at certain points. It wasn't negative at all. I just think you could perhaps take something that's already a good presentation and polish it to become just a little bit better. One more thing. For a person that is so into freedom, you seem a little bit reserved. I'd like to see you get a little more animated and excited in your presentations. It's there. I can see it in your eyes, and I can see it in your voice to some extent, but let yourself go. So overall, very informative. I learned a lot about you. I like the structure. I like the organization and the structure. I like the way you present yourself, and I hope to hear you speak on many, many more occasions. Back to you, Mahir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jerry. Now I will call second evaluator, who is Diksha. Over to you, Diksha.
Firstly, thank you so much, Toastmaster Meher, for giving me the opportunity to evaluate Jan ma'am. Firstly, talking about your speaking, genuinely, ma'am, I appreciate what you do, and I really liked how you expressed yourself. I have written down certain points which I would like to, which I specifically liked and would like to point out. So for beginning with, firstly, you were extremely patient and confident, which is like, I think, pretty obvious because you have been an amazing comedian. And talking about comedians on a personal note, I think when I watch them, the most important thing which I think is they have I mean, the best capability a person can have, because if you can make someone laugh, that is the best thing you can do. I mean, and I really appreciate about that, about this particular thing in you as well. And secondly, you had the, yeah, definitely you are since a comedian, so you had that humor aspect in your speech, which is perfect. I mean, that is something which most of the speakers lack, because I mean, this is not in everyone that you can make someone laugh, and this is something which I personally am is also working on. So that was also perfect, ma'am. Thirdly, yeah, you also organized your speech in a perfect way, because like when you speak, right, so you have to grab the attention of the audience, and when you begin with your speech with the humor, the beginning, and the way you described it in paragraphs and everything, it was perfect. I really liked it. So yeah, your voice modulation was amazing, as I said. And uh, so yeah, that's about it. Like, you were really good, and the only thing which I could say you can improve on is, although it was definitely there, you were having, you had great expressions and everything, but you could be a little more expressive. Like, you can have certain emotions, and a little bit of it you had it definitely, but a little bit of it will make you look more interesting. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you. And I really know that you will do amazing in your further speeches, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Diksha, for such a nice evaluation for Jan. Now it is time for the, okay, so we don't have evaluator 3. So now I will call the table topic evaluator, the odd number table topic evaluator, or odd numbers.
Thank you, Michael. I think that's me.
No, I actually think I am odd.
Oh, okay.
I hope you both have not evaluated odd speakers. So
Well, I will start then.
Start.
I will start then. Anna, what colors mean to you? You were unbelievably smooth, and with those prompts of the colors, you smoothly went from one to the other with an example of what each one means to you. I think you really got into what you were talking about. It was a hard question with all of those different colors. It was just pretty darn cool. I love the way your interpretation of color and the timed successions between the colors. You paused, you took a little break to go to the next color to get your thoughts together about the different colors. This is a really, really hard question. Very controlled, well flowing from color to color. A great presentation off the cuff. I can't really think about too much to improve here. You are obviously talented and speaking off the cuff, and I think we all enjoyed that. Quite a challenge, particularly with the background of all the speakers talking about Holi, which I learned a lot from, and I thank you all for sharing your experiences with that. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Paul, for the evaluation. Now it is time for Lucy to give evaluation. I don't know if she has already done it for odd speakers.
I'm sorry, I only take notes for the odd speakers too.
Let's hear what you have to say.
Okay, thank you. I'll be really quick. So for Anna, I really love your answers. You are a quick thinker. You give very detailed response one by one for the colors, why the reasons you love all the colors. And my suggestion for you is that in your speech, there is too much information in it. And by the end of your speech, I cannot remember like the main sentence or the key message. So I suppose that maybe next time you can like have the topic sentence no matter even if it is impromptu speech. And for the Chandler, I love your answer. You said that you have a lot of planning with your friends during the Holi season, but I expect that because you celebrate literally this festival. So I hope that next time maybe you can share with us a short story, just like what Bushar did. And turning to Bushar, I really think you are a really good speaker. You are very good at the vocal variety, and you have a very strong facial expression. And I am really touched and impressed by your performance. All in all, good jobs. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lucy. And it is a very good day for odd speakers, not so good day for even speakers.
I
But
have,
Mihir, since
I
I
have a
since I
comment.
was
I have a comment on Lucy. I thought she did a great job
Yeah.
in recovering. She was obviously not sure at first, but when you gave her that little extra nudge, she really went in there. She gave a good summary of her knowledge of Holi. She gave some good examples, and I always appreciate her enthusiasm and her smile. That's my evaluation of Lucy, and I did not catch the other person.
Yeah, and since I was supposed to be originally even, and in the urge to do delegation, I messed it up. So I can do the even evaluation. I think first we had Paul, who was supposed to talk about prank. It was very interesting prank, Paul, but I would have liked to hear a little bit more. I see a potential speech. So great, interesting, intriguing topic there. Would like to hear more about in a speech, if possible. I think another person was Chandra Prakash as an even speaker. So I like his personal touch, the way he brought to the story. But again, would like to see a little bit more of speech mechanics, little less ums, ahs, and then also some more vocal variety and also some more facial expressions. But yeah, great to have you. So back to you, Mihir. I think we are done with all the table topic evaluation now.
thank you so much. Okay, yes, Jerry.
I see that Abhishek says that he has some notes for the even speakers too, and I think we have time, so let him give a quick comment.
Well, whatever I had to say, Tosh covered it.
Okay.
Great. So we had 2 evaluators and 3 successor evaluators, successor table topic evaluators. So now I will call the grammarian word master of the meeting, Anna.
I'm also launching the poll for best evaluators, so please fill in your votes.
While the evaluation is going, I will have my grammar's report of tonight, or morning, or midnight. I don't know what time is you. So for the word today, thank you for Alan, Debs, Paul, and Mihir to use it. I'm sorry if other people use, I didn't catch it, but thank you for using the word of the day. And for the good words and good sentence, there are so many good words and good sentences today. For Paul, you have a interpretation. For Abhishek, you have worship. And for Anissa, you have so many good words. Honestly, some words are too complicated for me, so I didn't write them down. And you have a lot good sentence I write down. For example, I was committed. Freedom is not something you're chasing after. Freedom is nothing else but to be better. And your whole speech is a great example of good sentence and good wording, so I really love it. And for Jen, I really love your saying you are a performer or comedy, and you say, give me a lot of material. You talk about your husband, so you have so many humors in your speech. It's hard for me to pick the shining word from your speech, but the overall it's smooth and nice and really enjoyed it. So I want to point out that. Besides that, most of us are doing a great job for the filling words. So here you little bit like use the word and to transition between sentence. And Dishka, when you answer the questions and doing evaluations, you like to use the word a little bit. So just be a little bit awareness of the use of the word, and we will have a big improvement. And thank you all for your listening to the report. Back to the dear Toastmaster or President.
Thank you so much, Anna, for such a comprehensive report. And now, if there is any skill which comes with age, it is multitasking. And I will invite on stage someone who is playing too many roles in the meeting. It is Jerry. Over to you, Jerry.
Well, thank you for that compliment, Mihir. Yes, I probably was trying to do too much. I am normally a person that is very observant on ums and ahs, and I was just so enjoying this meeting that I didn't catch everybody by any means. I will say that the people that spoke the most tended to have the most ahs and ums. Mahir, as you know, I commented early on that you were having quite a few, and you did much better after that point, though I think that's still something that if once you can become a bit more observant and catch them yourselves, that will help. None of us are ever going to perfectly avoid them. Haratosh, you as well. You spoke some in the beginning and had perhaps more than I would expect from you. Anna, you had about 4 ahs and 2 so's in your yes. Happy birthday, Anna. And I had 1 or 2 from other people. Anita, I only caught about 3 in your speech. Not bad at all for a speech. So overall, for those of us that know we have to work on it, let's do that. And for the rest of us, let's continue to practice being aware and doing our best not to use them. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Jerry. And thank you for reminding me again and again that I'm using too many fillers. Now it is time to invite on stage the general evaluator of the meeting, Paritosh.
Thank you so much, Mihir. First of all, happy Holi to everyone in advance. We're going to celebrate Holi, and I hope you learned a little bit about Holi today. So I'll start off with some of the good things that we did and then come to a number of improvements to say. I think Mihir did a great job as a Toastmaster. He kept the meeting going. He was always in command of the meeting. So great quality of being a good Toastmaster. Keep it up, Mihir. Also, I like to bow down to actually Jerry for doing so many things and being our last minute savior. What can you not do, Jerry? Thank you. Thank you for all your services.
Get
We all
exercise
owe a
when
lot
I
to you.
should.
The meeting started about 3 to 4 minutes late, which is not the standard that we want to adhere to. And I can understand there was a less number of attendance because there are parallel contests and other Toastmaster events are going on. So we do have generally more than these people. And this also lead to last minute confusions in terms of filling up the evaluator. So as a general evaluator, I take the whole responsibility, and also uh, responsibility of saying Lucy to be odd number evaluator while I wanted to make her the even number evaluator. So that's on me. I think Debs did a great warm up by asking us to pick the color, very relevant. So thank you, Debs. Only advice would be to give opportunity to new members and guests more, because I thought we ran out of time. Well, we had a few guests, so maybe we can accommodate more. And a great word. I think we are not great successors because we could have used the word of the day more, but you did a great job of observing the grammar uses. Timer, excellent job. done by our DTM, Alan, in terms of setting up the virtual backgrounds and being on point. It is a tough job, but he was onto it. Our table topic master, Abhishek, he brought a very interesting and thought-provoking questions. Possibly sometimes it was a bit difficult, and I'm so relieved because I have been accused of being so hard being a table topic master. Now I know I have a competition, but yeah, one grow on could be that possibly try to avoid any role players. Like we had Lucy as the evaluator, we can look into people who do not have any role, because the purpose of table topics is to provide opportunity for people to speak, especially those who have not yet spoken. Our evaluators were very good. I like Jerry's evaluation of giving commendation and crisp, actionable recommendation. And Diksha, I really appreciate you. It's not easy to evaluate an experienced speaker, but I think you did a great job of evaluating Jan. Paul and Lucy, great evaluation of table topics, short and crisp. That's what we want. So great meeting overall. There are things, there are areas we can improve on, but that's why we meet every other week. Over to you, Toastmaster Mihir.
Thank you so much, Mr. General Evaluator, for such a comprehensive report and evaluating the performance of each of us. Now, so I will just conclude our theme that Holi is a time not only just to have fun, but also to believe in yourself and to become fearless and to keep the child in ourselves alive and have fun. And whatever you do in life, have fun and feel good about yourself. So now I will now to announce the result. I think this honor should be of the president. So Toastmaster Haritosh, please announce the result.
Thank you so much, Mihir. Great job done by you. We had very interesting polls today and results. So let allow me to share screen. So first up is our best table topic speaker, and I think we have some time so we can play the game. Any guesses? Let's see. We had very close competition, and the winner won by only one vote. So, Pushra, congratulations to you. You won the best table topic speaker award. Now, next up is the best evaluator. Now, this should be a surprise to most of us. Our best evaluator is Jerry. Last but not the least, again, the best speaker and winning by only one vote is our in-house comedian, Chan. Congratulations. So that of the awards. Congratulations to all the winners. Back to our club business. So our next meeting will be in 2 weeks, which would be on 3rd of March at the same time. We had a few guests, so now is the time for me to go
That's
back.
3rd of April.
Yeah.
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, I get, yeah.
That's a Holi prank. That's a Holi prank.
Okay. Let me ask our guest how did they find the meeting and if there are any feedback. So, Bushra, would you like to give a feedback to the club?
Am I audible?
Yes.
First of all, what I liked about the meeting was the evaluation section is distributed among people. It's not just one person doing all the evaluation. What happens in our club is the general evaluator evaluates everything, all the table topics, speeches as well. But over here, that was different. And I really like that. Maybe we can incorporate that in our meetings as well. And another thing that I liked about the meeting is that there are evaluators for every speech, and the evaluation is given right after the speech. So I think the impact is more when we get the evaluation
just after the speech. So that is also something I liked about this meeting. And the third thing that I loved about the meeting is the diversity. We have such a diverse crowd, and there are stories that in India we rarely get to hear. When we hear stories from abroad, we get to know how do people in other countries live, and what does freedom mean to them, and what does freedom mean to us. And I really enjoyed the meeting. The table topics was a surprise to me, because initially he started by showing screen, and it was assumed that even I would get a screen to see, but then mine was a topic. So that was also a surprise for me, and I really enjoyed the vibe of the meeting and the overall meeting process. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And you're most welcome to join us as many times as you. We meet every other Saturday on 6:30 to 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. We also have Chandra Prakash. So Chandra Prakash, any feedback from your side?
Those first of all, very thanks from my side. So a second time I have participated for this meetings, and it is a global platform. We just feel the diverse culture here, and thank you so much from my side.
Thank you. Thank you. Good seeing you again and looking forward to have you more in the club meetings. We also had a guest evaluator today. So Diksha, would you like to share your feedback of how you found the club meeting?
Oh, it was perfect. As I said, like everyone was so good. And as I think Bushra already mentioned that when we join a global meeting, then we actually look for what I personally look forward to is like how the person is speaking, but specifically talking about English, because that is a language which is native to people. So that is how they speak and what flaws which I personally have and I can improve on. So these are certain things, and overall the meeting was perfect. As the table topic session specifically, the one thing which I personally noticed is, because when he showed the pictures, then I too was expecting that the everyone will be getting the pictures, and when he gave the topic, that was the most important thing, and a thing which we can also incorporate in our meetings as well. So yeah, everything was so good, and yes, that's about it. Thank you.
Awesome, Diksha. Thank you so much. We'll love to have you here again. Now let's hear from Jerry about next week's assignment, and we have a Zoom
Yes.
bomber, my daughter.
Good for her. Hi. This is next 2 meetings assignments. This April 3rd will be a bit different than the last one, because as people inform me of their inability to take a particular assignment, or new people come on board, they change. So as of right now, you can see the assignments for next meeting, April 3rd. Our theme will be Reach for the Stars. Our Toastmaster will be Deb Wallace. I will not go through all of these. And our table topics person will be Lou Begnall. Moving on quickly, I won't go over these but as thoroughly, but our meeting theme will be Modern World Wonders. I kind of picked on the 7 wonders of the world, but that's more, as we know it, more from a Western perspective. So let's just say of the modern world. And you can see, and we will go over that. Also remember that you can find any member's contact information on the website under the private member directly. If you want a review on how this club approaches some of the roles, you can find that in member downloads. And you can always contact me with questions or to let me know of your availability or changes or so forth. So there you go. Back to you, Hartosh. Oh, and that is in the chat. I put the PDF in chat.
Thank you so much, Jerry. As always, we are so pleased you're part of the club and you're doing so much for the club. Thank you. So I think we are on time now, 1 minute over. So unless anybody has anything pressing, we can call this meeting adjourned.
Introduce your daughter.
Yes.
Oh. Let me remove the virtual background. Give me a second. Okay.
While he's doing that, she used to attend.
Can you say hi to them?
back in
No?
America.
Now she's scared. So thank you so much.
Where will she deliver her
And you
first
had some
speech?
fine humor.
Yeah. Okay.
She's our youngest
Thank you,
member.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Really good to see everybody, particularly Diksha, Sandra, missing somebody here, but Bushra. So, happy Holi.
Happy Holi,
Bye.
guys.
See
Bye.
you next in 2 weeks' time.
See you
Learned
in
a-
April.
All of you, happy Holi from my side.
I learned a lot today. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Paul.
Bye,
See
Paul.
everyone. Thank you for the kind comments about my speech.
Good. I want to hear you when you come to Indianapolis.
Thank you, maybe. We'll see.
Maybe.
It's different. We'll see how it turns out. I hope I get to perform.
Well, we'll see.
We'll
We
see.
have at least 4 of the officers on screen right now. I think we probably should try to get together sometime soon and
Yeah.
maybe follow up a little bit on what Paul suggested and
Mhm.
whether you have suggestions about meeting roles and so forth. We have not had an educational speaker for a while, and I'd like to have your ideas on how often we should do that. So when we get together, we can talk about that.
Yeah. And I think we can stop recording. You know who? Ah, Jerry. Okay.
No, stop now?